Film Pulse is supported by the kind donations from listeners like you. Please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/filmpulse for just $1 a month and help keep the podcast on the air. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the laundry yard.
Watching the Grunion Pro Magi.
Uh,
If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 251. My name's Adam Patterson. We're joined by Kevin Rakestraw. How are you, Kevin?
Pretty good.
We're also joined by Mr. Ryan Holes. Michael Holes, right? Ryan Michael Holes. How are you? We're going to start doing a three name for you.
Alright. Pretty good.
What? Ryan Michael Holes. It makes me want to say Anthony Michael Hall.
I'm going to call you Mike from now on.
Mike?
Mikey.
Mikey.
I hate that.
Ryan
I
Mikey Holes.
absolutely hate that name.
Oh, Mikey Holes.
They used to go in that in Sunday school.
Oh, jeez.
Because
They called you Mikey?
we had to run.
Oh.
You were the odd man out.
You were the one that had to change.
Girl.
Heaven forbid there's two Ryans in a Sunday school class.
Yeah, anyway. What the hell? It's like Last Man on Earth. I don't know if you guys watched that, but when he had there was another person that showed up that had his exact name, and so they made him go by his middle name, which was Tandy. So they actually changed his name for the rest of the entire show to Tandy. And they still call him Tandy, even though that character is not even on the show anymore.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's still Tandy. Great show. Ryan, what do we have you watch this week? Lucy. Picked this in honor of Valerian and what's it called? Valerian and the City of 1,000
Planets.
That's
right.
Is that what it's called? Oh.
Yep. 1,000 planets.
All right. We'll go with it. This is written and directed by Luc Besson. He's the one that wrote and directed Valerian, too, if you didn't know. I have a synopsis here. A woman accidentally caught in a dark deal turns the tables on her captors and transforms into a merciless warrior evolved beyond human logic. Stars Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman. Ryan, tell us a little bit about Lucy.
Well, Scarlett Johansson has a boyfriend who is not a very dependable guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also a billionaire. Someone Asia, I believe it's Korea. And he's like, he gives her a briefcase. And he's like, I don't know what's inside, but you're paid $1,000 to smile and give it to the guy that wants it and then walk away. And she refuses. And the next thing you know, he handcuffs her, and on the other end of the handcuffs are a briefcase. So it's now on her arm. And she's begging him to get it off because she doesn't know what it is and she's afraid. And he won't. And eventually, she ends up walking into an office building and asking for this guy. The next thing you know, her boyfriend gets his brains splattered all over the window of this office building. And Asian men come down and take her out to this office.
Asian men come down. Do we have to designate that they're Asian if they're already in South Korea? Couldn't we just say men come down?
Well, at first I thought they were triads, but they're Korean and they're Korean mob people. Not really sure if they have a name. So she's in this office building and he's up there torturing someone else. And she walks in and she's all freaked out eventually he gets her the combination for the briefcase and has her unlock it while him and Oz friends stand behind protective barriers because they say they don't trust what her boyfriend did. And also, none of them speak English at all. So eventually, this boss ends up calling a translator, and he sort of translates over the phone. So anyway, she gets this combination, and eventually she opens the briefcase, and it's filled with, I think, 4 packs of synthetic drugs. And these drugs allow humans to use up to 100% of their brain power. Whereas right now we only use up to like 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgan Freeman is the scientist, and all the while he's giving a lecture on all this. And eventually she gets knocked out, gets these drugs surgically implanted in her, and she's supposed to deliver them to someone else. And again, this guy doesn't speak English, and the translator is pretty terrible. So she's really clueless as to what's happening. Well, anyway, she ends up in another prison, sorta, with another group of mob people. And eventually they end up interrogating her and trying to rape her. And while they rape her, or before they try, they kick her in the stomach over and over. And it opens these drugs up inside of her. And slowly but surely, her brain power starts growing. And she is eventually chased all over Asia and Europe with all these other people that had the drugs implanted in them and to be delivered. And eventually, she ends up killing everyone with her mind because now that she has more brain power, apparently she can move things telekinetically and change her own appearance at the drop of a hat.
What now?
Yeah.
And
He's not kidding.
So that's something that she uses her powers for.
what?
Yeah, she has the ability to change her appearance.
Alright. So she goes to Morgan Freeman and she tells him she's somehow going to get him all this knowledge so that she can be studied. And when it reaches 100%, she begins to morph into a new age computer. And eventually, as a USB stick, conveniently sticking out, and waiting for it to study her. Oh yeah, and she kills everyone else.
So, what'd you think of this?
I like that. I saw it before.
What?
I also saw this.
I'm the only one that's not seen Lucy.
You have not seen Lucy. You
I
need to see Lucy.
I want to see this. This was one of the reasons that I actually picked it. It says like, yeah, I want to see this too. I didn't get a chance to, but I will in the future.
But maybe one day.
One day.
Well, so so you thought it was okay, Ryan?
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
Oh, you liked it a lot. Okay.
Could this end up being? Because Adam, do you still have the stats from the what was it,
I have some of them.
last podcast?
I have some of them. Yeah.
Could this end up being the highest rated Ryan watches a movie?
No.
He's so
No?
quick to answer that.
Right after you just said I really liked it.
That doesn't
Yes.
mean it was the best movie I ever saw.
Well, no, I don't think one of those has appeared on Ryan Watches a Movie.
And
No,
I was
by
a
design, it
good
has not.
clown. Call what they care.
Mm-hmm. I liked this movie to a point. I thought the end was utterly ludicrous. I mean, a lot of the stuff that happens up until that point was slightly ludicrous as well, but it was at least kind of fun in a sci-fi sort of way. But then what happens at the end, like Ryan said, she turns into a USB stick. I was kind of like, all right, no, I'm
For me, that's almost what sells it.
the USB stick.
Well, just how ridiculous it gets at the end. Because,
Yeah, it gets so ludicrous at the end.
She kicks a lot of ass during the movie.
Yeah, she does. It's definitely an action movie, and it's a pretty cool action movie too. It's
And
very Asian. It's very Asian inspired. I believe he plays the villain, but it's Min Sik Choi, the guy who's in Old Boy.
Okay.
I know I recognized him from somewhere.
This
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
It looks cool too. Like I think Luc Besson has, at least for me, the visual fidelity of his movies is kind of hit or miss. Some of them I love, some of them I'm like, that does not look great. But this is one of the better looking ones
Yeah.
for me.
I'm pretty excited about this.
Plus, she had no emotion throughout the movie.
Does
Like,
that
She does at the
She
beginning,
didn't
but
feel
after she gets her brain power, she loses her emotion.
okay? So the drugs take that away.
Yeah,
And
because as she gets smarter, she becomes less emotional.
And along with that, she's less able to feel pain.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was kind of cool. Like
there is no pain.
because she has 100% control over her body. Like her brain can just tell her body to do whatever she wants. So she just, turns off pain receptors. So she can get like shot and punched and stabbed and she just doesn't feel it at all.
Yeah, she just shuts down those nerve receptors.
Yep. Which is
This
kind of
actually
cool.
sounds
I
pretty
mean,
awesome.
like I know that that's not possible, but for me when I was watching that, I'm like, okay, if you had 100% control of your brain, maybe you could do that. Like if you had complete control over your body and you could tell it whatever you wanted it to do, in theory, I think you would be able to do something like that, right? But when some of the other stuff that she does, like the telekinesis, I'm like, I don't know how that would work. And like,
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
like changing her eye color, maybe I could see that, but she changes her hair color and stuff too, like on the fly, like in real time, and I'm like, I don't know if that would necessarily work either. Like, would you be able to change your hair color like that? Like instantly?
It'd be like
Yeah,
a
maybe she's-
chameleon.
You're just rewriting your genetic code.
Yeah, but isn't your hair's dead, right? So you wouldn't be able to like retroactively change that. I mean, maybe moving forward, the new hair that comes out
True.
would be a different color, but I don't know if I'm.
Is that a
buying
deal breaker for you?
No, none of that stuff was a deal breaker for me. I mean, it's silly, it's ridiculous, and as long as you go into the movie knowing, like, all right, this kind of it like takes the idea of Limitless, the one with Bradley Cooper, and kind of amps it up, switches it up to 11, where
I also thought, what if we could use more of a, like, we could only use 20%.
well, a lot of people
80.
Well, a lot of people theorize that we would be able to do a lot of the stuff that she does in this movie, some of the more grounded things.
Yeah, but I think it also, like, we use all of our brain. Like, it's just that a large portion of our brain is just set aside for basic function, of living, of controlling your body and stuff. You can't use it for other things.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know. They just teleported a photon into the Earth's orbit, so who knows what they'll figure out.
Yeah. I doubt it'll ever be on the level of Lucy, though, because
I
I mean,
really
at the end, she like basically just turns herself into data. Like that's what she
yeah,
does.
I'm really hoping that in the future we can all turn into USB sticks. It would be interesting.
That was so weird. Like everything went
Just
white.
sticks.
Everything in her mind went white. And she morphed into this computer. And eventually into a USB stick.
The last place I would want to go would be a USB stick. Those are so unreliable. Anybody could get it. They break like it's nothing. No, not a USB stick. Put me on some like big rack server somewhere where I have access
Well,
to
that's the
the
other
internet
thing.
and I can.
When she was transforming, she was eating servers like they were nothing.
Yeah.
But then she becomes the USB stick.
It's sort of like that. I didn't see it, but I think that it's sort of like that Johnny Depp movie. That what's it called? Transcendence? Is that the name of it? The one where he puts his consciousness into a computer.
I never saw it.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. So, all right. Well, that's kind of. I think it's good that you liked it. Picked a different one you actually liked for once. Well, let's talk about Luc Besson because I don't know if we ever had you watch any of his movies on this show before. Pretty big time. He's a bigger producer than he is a director, but he still has directed a lot of stuff, including Leon the Professional, La Femme Nikita, Fifth Element. There was that terrible Angel A movie that came out in 2005. He did the Arthur and the Invisibles series, that animated. I didn't even know he did that, actually.
I didn't either.
Maybe I did and forgot. He did that movie The Family, which was that really bad one with it was Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer in that.
Yeah. Oh,
Mob
man.
one. I don't like mob comedies.
No.
They never work for me. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, nah. Then he did
Mobbies.
Mombodies, yep.
Eat that Webster thing,
Trademark that shit, Ryan.
Yeah,
Mikey,
there you go.
Mikey, get on that.
And then he did Lucy and then Valerian. So pretty good career. If you look at what he's produced, which is a ton of stuff, he's produced 89 things, including TV and movies. A lot of it was bad, but there's some good stuff in there. I'd say he's produced a lot of really bad stuff.
Oh yeah.
He did the transporter movies.
Okay. District B13 though.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
See?
Columbiana. He did the Taken movies.
It's already hit with Ryan.
He did Brick Mansions, which was another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was another free running movie.
Ryan's all about it.
Assuming it's Franson.
Yes. What gave it away?
It was just lucky ass.
It was a lucky guess.
I know what you're saying. I said that to me funny, but it didn't work.
All right. Any final thoughts before you give your drum roll on Lucy?
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable. Oh, okay.
Now, quick question, because I forgot to ask this earlier. Because Adam said that he was on board until it got towards the end, and he thought it kind of got ludicrous. For you, Ryan, how was it for you? You know, up until the end there, did it lose you in the end with the USB stick thing?
The ending was. I felt like the ending was just excuse to end the like it was.
Okay.
I know it doesn't sound right, but now said.
I think I know what you're saying, but it was humorous the way you phrased it.
Yeah.
You gotta admit.
I understood what he was saying, but it's interesting.
But up until the USB part, I liked it. I thought it was good.
So did it lose you a little bit with the end? With the supercomputer and the USB stick?
It happens. That seems like 3 minutes long, man. So it happens pretty quickly. but up until then, it had me pretty hardcore.
Oh, it had you hardcore.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and give your drum roll. What do you give Lucy?
I was gonna have this thing and a half, but I just realized I can't
What?
put that on Letterboxd.
Well, it had you hardcore, Ryan.
Oh my goodness.
It had me so hardcore. What's your score? 6.5.
Oh my goodness, 7.
Oh, okay. Gonna give it a half star bump there.
What was Cloven?
7.5.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I think he did that shit on purpose. He didn't want Lucy
Yeah,
to be the
that must be
highest.
what it was. Ryan, did you look at Clown and you were like, okay, well, I didn't like it more than Clown, so I'm gonna put it underneath that.
I didn't think of it until Kevin just said it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You're throwing around positives left and right. This movie had you hardcore up until the last 3 minutes. And you're hitting me with a 7? Man,
Well, also, Scott Johansson,
it's the guy that produced Brick Mansions.
I'm a big fan of this guy, apparently. I'm a pretty big fan of, I can't think of the other girl now. The, Annalise. That was her last name.
Annalise?
Yeah.
What? I have
Who?
no idea. I have no idea.
She plays Scott Johansson's friend in this. Like the girl she lives with. Can't think of her last
Annalie Tipton? Annalie
Yeah,
Tipton?
yes. Yeah. That was
Wait,
cool.
Annalie Tipton is the reason for it being a 7?
Yeah.
Wait, was it? Oh, okay. Wait, you said you liked her or no?
Huh?
It was a good or bad thing that Annalie Tipton was in this?
Good thing?
It was a good thing. Okay.
That's the bad thing that he was in this lot.
Oh,
So that's
so you
what kept it
wanted
from being a
more
6.
Tipton time.
So this all, again, comes down to an attractive woman not being in it enough.
Well,
But you have Scarlett Johansson in
director
like
was
every
pretty
single
good.
scene of the movie.
Damn.
All right. Anyway, that's 7 out of 10. Are you excited for Valerian?
you gotta say no.
Now,
What if I-
did you see Fifth Element? Because a lot of people are drawing obvious comparisons between the two.
No.
Really? Never saw Fifth Element?
No.
You should probably
Uh,
give that a look. I think you'd like that
I've
one.
seen that, yeah.
It's got Chris Tucker in it.
Your boy Chris.
Yeah, I think you're a Chris fan, aren't you?
Tucker fan?
I thought you were a big Tucker fan.
Yeah, I thought it was Tucker and Tipton.
Double T's.
Big fan of Tucker and Tipton.
I don't know what to think about this Valerian movie. At first, I was just like, nope, absolutely not. But then I saw a couple different trailers, and I was like, all right, it looks kind of weird, and maybe I'll give it a look.
Is the
What
main on that a model in real life?
Jesus Christ.
What? A model?
I'm trying to think of where I've seen her before.
Yeah, she's a fashion model.
Yeah.
Alright.
Cara Delevingne? Never heard her name said, so.
I believe she's English.
Yes,
You
she
are
is
correct,
English.
yes. You remember her being the face of Burberry's beauty campaign. That's probably where you remember her
That's
from.
probably the most. Yeah, you probably knew that. Yeah.
Either
She
that
was
or-
Enchantress in Suicide Squad. If you saw Suicide Squad.
Okay, yeah. Yep, that's what I'm thinking of.
Her last
Yeah.
name is pronounced Delevingne.
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 All right.
There you go.
She was cool as Enchantress. I don't remember her having any lines in that, but it was a cool character. And then, of course, we got Dane. Good old Dane DeHaan.
That Dane DeHaan in there.
He plays Valerian. I like him. Something tells me, Kevin, you would despise him.
And I don't know if I've actually seen him in anything.
I think you'd hate him. He's not from the UK. He's actually from Allentown. So
Isn't it?
maybe you'd like him a little bit more.
There's a lot of fucking people from Allentown.
I know. There's like a lot of bands that come out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. A lot of talent coming out of that town.
How?
But
How? I don't know. That's a good question.
About as much talent in York County. There's a lot of talent coming out of here. No.
If by talent you mean drug addiction.
Hey man, my talented
It's
podcast.
fucking ripe with talent.
Yeah, there's talent coming out the fucking yin yang over there.
Oh, Alan.
I'm a talented podcast.
I made a secret is from Allentown.
Yeah, that's right.
Christine Taylor's from Allentown.
Pink is from Allentown.
Dana Snyder from Aqua Teen Hunger Force is from Allentown.
Hey, I met him.
That doesn't seem right.
That's pretty cool. So Kevin, what's your take on Valerian?
It looks like something I'd check out at some point.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Like, I don't need to see it in the theater, although it does look like it's going to be
I mean,
visually
yeah.
pleasing movie. I don't know if I'll be interested enough to
That's the thing with
spend my
that.
dough.
It looks like it's a movie theater film. You know, that's where you need to see it. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm going to be getting out there, you know, opening weekend or the next weekend after. I don't know.
Ryan, any final thoughts on Valerian or Lucy before we wrap up today?
No.
All right. There you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin and @MyLegsDon'tWork. If you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse. Consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We shall see you next week.
You forgot to say Michael.
Mikey.
Yeah.
See you later.